Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Happy 1-1 portal. All right, we are going to be, of course, pulling some cards today. We're going to be talking about these energies as we move into 2024. It's going to be a really exciting year. So much as we are moving into this brand new timeline for ascension, for our own personal ascension, for the ascension of the planet. Just big, big, beautiful stuff. And really, it is all about aligning with that highest timeline, aligning with that version of ourselves, and releasing and letting go of everything that is not in alignment with that is not in alignment with the truth of our being. I want to welcome everybody who's showing up right now in the chat. Welcome, 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 as well as everybody who's going to be watching this on the replay. The replay will be available on YouTube as I am filming this on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. We're going to pull some cards and see what Spirit wants to say, what guidance Spirit wants to give us as we move into this beautiful new year. We had a beautiful alignment of numbers here as we moved into the new year. On the 31st, on New Year's Eve, we had 12, 31, 23. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which was a really interesting and fun lineup. And of course, now we're on 1, 2, 2, 4, yesterday being 1, 1, 2, 4. So still within this, and we talk about this a lot on YouTube. For everyone on TikTok, this might be something new, something different. We talk about this recoding of the matrix that we've been experiencing as we've been moving through really since 2020 in earnest. 2012 was when this final wave, if you will, of the ascension really kicked into high gear. And 2020 was when a lot of people really started awakening and coming into a brand new understanding of these energies. And so as we've seen the sequences of numbers with the ones, the twos, the zeros, then we added in the threes, and now we're moving into the fours. And we're going to talk about the 8-year as well, because 2024 is an 8-year. It's also the year of the dragon. All right. But we're adding in this. So the ones, the twos, and the zeros, this was all about the recoding of the matrix. And then as we moved into the threes, this is when we really began creating in earnest this new reality, which really is an old reality in a sense of we're moving back into, and we're aligning, we're moving back into the divine matrix, the organic crystalline matrix. That's what we are. I don't like moving back into restoring. That's the energy that I like to use. That's sort of the framework that feels the most relevant, right? So we're restoring that crystalline matrix, that divine blueprint for this planet, for humanity. Of course, that blueprint is found in our DNA. So we are recrystallizing and we are reactivating our DNA. It's just a beautiful, beautiful process that we've been undergoing. So the three, when we brought in that three energy, that was the energy of creation, right? When the two energies come together to birth and create the third. And now we're moving into the four with the 2024. And the four is all about stability. It's all about stabilizing, building, and creating that foundation. So we're really solidifying that foundation as we move into 2024. And like we said, moving in this brand new trajectory, which is so incredibly exciting. And we felt it, right? Because we've been feeling that falling away of the old, right? All the old habits, all of the old belief systems, the perspectives. And we're seeing this in our outer lives as well, as people, places, and things are falling away. And that's all to make way for this new energy and to align us in this new direction. And so whatever is falling away, all we can do is embrace that, allow that, and continue to move forward and know that everything that is destined for us, everything that is meant for us, will follow us into that new timeline. Hello, Sophie. Hello, Lightmaker. I see you in the chat there. Happy New Year to everybody. I just did a video this morning. My son decided that he was going to make his cameo. He really just wants to sit on my lap when I do readings sometimes. So I'm going to start allowing that, because it just felt like as we're moving into this new energy, it felt better. I've been very hesitant about that in the past. I am planning on creating another channel for parents of starseeds as we have this new wave of starseed children. So that's going to be one of my new projects as we move into 2024. So I want to start out with the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. And this is what I was using in the little videos that I did today. It was a gift from my friend Tommy, and it's just a really beautiful deck. I'm really enjoying the energy and the vibe of it. Clear. Anyone who is hopping on, make sure that you go ahead and like the live stream. That's how we get any more people to find us. Although we know that everybody who's meant to find us always does. We're warming up on the 11th. We're going to be having the new moon in Capricorn. I was just doing some preliminary research and feeling into that new moon. I think it's really beautiful that it's happening on the 11th. So once again, in this portal type energy, this 11124 energy for that new moon in Capricorn. And we know whenever we see the repeating ones, one of the things that we're being asked to do is to pay attention to our thoughts, because they are manifesting rapidly. Really, anytime we see repeating numbers, we see angel numbers, we know that we are being upgraded. We know that we are in the flow, in divine harmony with our soul. And we also know that we are being asked to really, like we said, look into those thoughts, words, and actions, because everything is manifesting, everything is aligning for us. But remember, we create our reality. So what it is that we are creating with our thoughts, our words, and then, yes, of course, our actions, that is what is manifesting for us. So always asking us to keep that in the forefront of our minds. Let's get some energy for 2024 for this 1-1, for whatever spirit wants to give us. I like to keep it really open-ended here. Hello, beautifuls. I can see some more people popping on TikTok. Go ahead and like the live stream if you feel so inclined to do so. And everyone, make sure that you say hello in the chat as well. We have the Three of Pentacles coming out as our first card. And I've definitely been feeling this energy for us as we're moving into 2024. It's this energy of teamwork. It's this energy of collaboration. We're really going to be called to come together with like-minded people and with not so like-minded people to begin to bridge those gaps and get those fresh perspectives. All right. Something that Spirit wants to caution me about as we're moving into this reading is just to remind people a lot of times, and it is true, especially as the energies are shifting and changing and building, that the whole like attracts like vibe is that is what it is, right? But sometimes we get a little too comfortable being comfortable and only entertaining people who entertain the same viewpoints as us, who see things from the same perspective as us. So we want to be careful with that. We do want to be open to continuing to receive different input from different people and having different types of people, different energies, and different thoughts and viewpoints. And so if we look at the world today, part of the issue that we have is that everybody has become so polarized. And as we are moving through this ascension wave, we're going to see that more and more, because there are two distinct timelines that we are operating under. There's the timeline for ascension, and then there's the timeline of, I've been calling it descension. I don't know if I necessarily want to use that anymore, because I am very much of the mindset, and I feel very aligned with Carrie Kay when she talks about the fact that everybody's ascending to a higher level of consciousness than they've been. It's just going to be different for different people, like what that is. Some people it's going to be 5D, some people it's going to be 4D. And so we just need to understand that everybody is upgrading. It's just like, what is the level and the lesson that we're upgrading to, right? What is the experience that we are needing to have as we move forward here? And it's going to be different for different people, as we said. And somebody asked, what if you don't like people? I think that there's a lot of us on here who don't particularly, people may not be our favorite thing. Like, people is a really, like, I like my people, right? And I think that's why Spirit's reminding us to be open, so that we don't kind of put ourselves in a box or put ourselves in a corner. Hello, Diana. Welcome, beautiful. Because of that energy, like, there's a difference. So I love people. I don't necessarily like a whole lot of them. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. You know, a lot of us, especially those of us who who resonate strongly with the energy of starseed. You know what I mean? Like we feel in our bones that like that difference between us and what we might call like the average Joe walking down the street is like we've always felt that separateness. We've always felt and known that we weren't really from here, right? Like this is kind of a vacation. This is a pit stop. This isn't where we belong. And we've always felt that kind of like a difference. It's like, but a lot of us, and Dolores Cannon talks about a lot of this when she talks about the 3 waves of volunteers. Many people on this planet came here and volunteered to assist humanity in this ascension process. And so it's like we came here because we had a love for this planet. We have a love for humanity, the truth of who they are, right? Because we see and we understand that the way the average person operates in this world, that's not the truth of who they are, right? That's not their soul's truth. That is the ego. And what is the ego? The ego is this heavier, the false self, right? It's this heavier aspect of us, right? This false aspect of us that we had to take on in order to be a matching vibration to this density, to this planet. The ego is kind of like what anchors us here, but it's not the truth of who we are. And most people are living out of their ego, and they're totally disconnected from their soul. That's part of what we are. That's what this ascension process really is all about, right? It's reconnecting with our divinity. It's first remembering. My friend Kayla, and if you guys don't follow her, Kayla Divine channel, she's absolutely amazing. I started on YouTube with her back in 2020, and January 2020, we started a YouTube channel together. And I think it's still linked in my bio on YouTube, the link to the channel, which is still up. If anyone wants to kind of check out some of my people on YouTube that are watching this right now, you were there back when that started. You know what I'm talking about. But we used to call it not the ascension, but we used to call it the Great Remembrance, because that's really what it's about. It's about remembering the truth of who we are. And so we begin to remember, and then we begin to reconnect with that. And we begin to understand that this once crystalline matrix is now what we would call an inverted matrix. Right. And so we fell from a 5th dimensional organic construct of learning, organic school, if you will, down to the 3rd dimension. And there's a live stream that I did on YouTube for those watching on TikTok and anyone on YouTube who hasn't seen it yet. Hello, Christina, by the way. Talking about what is really going on here. Who are the archons? Like what is the inverted matrix, all of that, the AI inverted matrix. So if you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out so you understand more of what I'm talking about. But these, what we might call archons, these false light beings, whatever label you want to give them, were heavily involved in this fall into this 3-dimensional construct that we now exist in. And in this 3-dimensional construct, part of what keeps us so many people trapped here and has kept us trapped for millennia, right, is the fact that we are so disconnected from our soul's truth that we don't remember who we are. And there's a lot that is done to keep us in that fog, so to speak. But that fog is lifting, and that energy cannot be stopped. And more people are remembering. And so our duty as the way showers, as the people who do remember or who are in this process of remembering, is to remember that for them too. And when we see people acting out of their ego, when we see people acting out of fear, out of all of these lower base primitive emotions and energies, just try to see the soul underneath that and try to remember that there is a beautiful soul underneath all of that energy, underneath all of that dysfunction that's just trying to find its way back home. That's all it's doing. It's lost and it's trying to find its way back home. That's what we're all doing at this point. And we're all at different stages and phases of this journey. And that's really what 2024 is all about. It's about finding our way back home. And part of how we do that, when we're talking about home as home to our soul, home to our divinity, home to our lights, means really working through and continuing to release all these false constructs of what we are not, right? The false self, the ego self. And understanding and respecting the ego, right, for its function, because we couldn't have been here without it. But it's becoming less and less necessary as we move back more and more into the fullness of who we are. Yeah, Christina, we are going to be triggered quite a lot. That energy is going to continue to come up for us because it's bringing up everything that we need to understand. It's bringing up everything everything that we need to know wants to be shifted as we continue to move forward here in this process. So the things that are bothering you, pay attention to those. Why are they bothering to you? Really dig into that, because I think I was in that kind of dark space really for most of December, and I'm finally feeling a break in that energy. Last night I actually had an opportunity to sit down and to write a manifesting list. I've been doing, for those of you who don't know, I've been doing the 369 scripting, and I haven't been the best with it. I'm not the best at remembering to do anything. And it gets a little hard with my son too, because he doesn't like me to write things. He wants to be coloring and writing. And so he wants to like grab the pen, and I think I'm going to start setting him up. I ordered him some really nice beeswax crayons and things. So when those come, I'm going to set him up with his own stuff while I do my writing. But the 369 scripting says 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, to write out the things that you are wanting to manifest as if they already are, and to do this until they come to pass. And you can also do it by speaking it out loud. It's just even more powerful if you're able to write it. And I miss it a bunch of times, but when I remember, I do it. And I do the number for the whatever time of day it is usually, unless it's late at night and I'm really tired. And then maybe I'll just do 3 if I haven't done anything all day. But last night I expounded upon that, and I wrote down everything, because when you're writing things 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, especially if you're like me and your hands like kind of cramp up and don't really like holding a pen and like writing like that, it's a lot. So you got to get really succinct, right? You got to make sure that you're not using extraneous words, that you really get to the point, and you don't want to have too many things because you got to write all that stuff out. So it got me, it's been really good for me to be able to refine the things that I'm writing down that I'm wanting to manifest, and really get to the core of like, okay, what is important? And like, I want these 10 things, right, in my life. What 3 things will bring all 10 of those? And that's sort of where I've gotten to with it, is I finally narrowed it down to the 3 things that are going to make space for all of the things to come through, right? And then we always speak it or write it as though it already is, because that's the energy that we're bringing in. So I'm going to try it. I'm definitely going to do it with the speaking if I'm not always doing it with the writing. But like I said, last night I expounded upon it, and I did a huge list of basically setting my timeline for 2024. Like, this is what my life's going to look like. This is what I have in my life. This is what I'm experiencing. And it felt really good. It was really, really beautiful. So working with this energy for this portal like that, I think is going to be a really powerful and profound thing. Write out, what is your new timeline? What does that look like? Right. And this is, we're thinking beyond 2024 that too. This isn't just 2024. This is like continuing to move forward from 2024. And yeah, we have somebody, Sophie, in the YouTube chat is talking about being an empath and being around lower frequencies and how that has been challenging. That is definitely a challenge. That's why we want to be shielding, right? Just setting our own love light bubble, really getting firm and sovereign in our own energy, really being able to notice when we are picking up other energies, and grounding. That's what Spirit's saying right now. Ground, ground, ground. Anytime, like for me, I've noticed I was getting a lot of headaches the past really week or two, just tons and tons of headaches. And I did have a cold that I'm now recovered from, thankfully. But that was a little rough there for a little while too. And I was attributing that to some of the headaches. I also did an aura hypnosis session, and one of the things that I set about to heal was my eyesight. And when I went to the eye doctor, they did actually say that my prescription is trying to step itself down. I have my prescription is very strong. So we had to set this as a gradual thing, because if that happened too quickly, my contacts are very expensive. The appointments would be very expensive. It would be a disaster. So it has to be very, very gradual, but it is happening. And for anybody who's intrigued, I am booking for aura sessions, aura hypnosis healing sessions, entity removal sessions, readings, healings, Belvespita, angel healings, all of it. So check out my website if you are interested. It's linked in my bio on YouTube, and it's linked in my profile on TikTok if you guys want to see any of the stuff that I offer. I am booking clients for January and beyond. But yeah, what were we getting at? Oh yeah, like the energies of others, grounding. That was the thing. That was the solution that came to me for my headaches as well, is when all of that energy is coming in, it's a lot. If it gets trapped in the upper chakras, if it gets trapped in the head, in the mind, it's going to produce headaches and things like that. And so we want to ground our energy down. As we ground our energy down, it really helps to assist in alleviating a whole plethora of ascension symptoms. Misty says, I love being in my bubble. The bubble's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like we all need to be in our own bubble to a certain extent. And a lot of light workers, if you haven't been feeling that already, are going to feel that even more sometimes. Like we want to have that sacred, safe, sacred space to retreat to. And we want to make the spaces that we spend the most time in as sacred as possible. Let's see. Hello, Liquid Fire. Joni. All right. Hello, Joni. Oh, yes. Yeah. Sophie and I had a beautiful aura hypnosis healing session. Very, very powerful. All right, you guys. So back to the cards here, I think. Yeah, so we had the Three of Pentacles, and I think I went off on that huge tangent because we were talking about collaboration and teamwork. And one thing that was also coming through was this energy of where we're moving. Hello, Annika. Welcome. It's great to see you, beautiful. Where we're moving into an energy where we are collaborating instead of competing, and where we're coming together with people in order to bring forth more ideas, more knowledge, more wisdom, more creativity, and really feeding off of each other's creativity in a really beautiful, powerful sense. This also has the feel of mentors, teachers, and mentors. Many of us are going to be connecting with more of those as we move into 2024, finding new people to learn from, really understanding the fact that we are always the teacher and the student. Okay, so there's always something to learn from every person, every situation. Somebody's going to be working with crystals much more intensely in 2024 as well. I'm seeing the crystals at the bottom of this card here. We have the 10 of Swords. This deck is just so beautiful. And that was inverted. All right, so let's get a little more energy on that with the 10 of Swords here. Was when I did the when my son joined me for the reading earlier, when I was recording the readings that I posted for you guys, he shuffled the deck for me, I guess you could say. So the cards are all over the place. Yeah, I know. I thought of you when I said that, Sophie. How can you remove the old patterns and let go? Christina, if you want assistance with that, reach out to me. We can book a session. There's several different ways that we could approach assisting you with that. That is like the age-old question, right? When it comes to us working on our own in order to do that, it helps to get a little assistance sometimes, I think. I think the first step, though, when we're doing this on our own, we're not, you know what I mean, is to be able to recognize, first have that awareness of, okay, I've recognized that this is a pattern. And bringing love into it. That's what Spirit's saying. Is we do a lot of complicated stuff, but it's really about like loving ourselves through that energy. Like, okay, I see it. I see, like looking at, like, imagine you're looking in the mirror, say, okay, I see you. All right, you're doing this thing again, but that thing is not you. Right. And that thing is linked to your trauma. That thing is linked to those past experiences, those belief systems that were created. But none of that is you. I see you. I see the truth of who you are, and really connect with that essence of you. Invite that essence of you to come forth, and so that you can witness this. Like literally stare into the mirror and do this. Stare into your own eyes. Invite the essence of you to join you, right? And then call in that energy of unconditional love. Send love to whatever that situation was. Send love to that aspect of yourself. And then say, okay, that was the old way. What's the new way? How am I, as somebody who loves myself completely, as somebody who understands that old storyline is not who I am, who's releasing the attachment to that? What do I do? How do I behave differently? right? And a lot of the resistance comes from the fear of change. And it comes from the attachment, even though there's pain involved. It's like it's the attachment to the story and the attachment to the person that you feel you've become as a result of that story. And it's spirit saying, oftentimes, right? It's a coping mechanism, right? The old patterns. That's what they are. Because it's like the fear of, okay, if I do something different, I'm going to get hurt again. If I don't defend myself, if I'm not on the offensive or the defensive all the time, I'm going to get hurt. And so it's like the more trust and faith we can develop in ourselves and our ability to handle situations, our ability to set boundaries, our ability to not accept less than what we deserve, and the more trust and faith we have in spirit, in our world, the easier it is to let those things go, right? Because it's all the letting go. That's all about surrender. And this new moon in Capricorn is going to be a lot about that as well. And so it's something that for all my YouTubers, a lot of you watch Pete Sapper. One of the things that he said recently that I was really enjoying, and I think it was part of reality transurfing, but I'm not sure. It was something like, my world is always taking care of me. That was one of the most powerful affirmations to say on a daily basis. And I really like that, right? My world is always taking care of me. Because if I believe that my world is always taking care of me, I'm going to be more bound to take risks that I might not take otherwise. I'm not going to hold on so tightly to those old coping mechanisms out of fear, because I have that perfect trust. And this doesn't mean, that we act irresponsibly and we put ourselves in situations that we know and understand are dangerous, right? This is like a caveat that I'm sure everybody understands already, but I just feel I have to say it, right? But this is just in general, when it comes to connecting with people, when it comes to taking those risks in business, in life in general. It's like when we truly believe that our world is taking care of us, we're much more likely to do that. The universe is always conspiring on my behalf. Yes, I love that one, Sophie. That's a good one as well. Yeah, really working with these affirmations, you guys, as hokey as some people might think that this stuff is, it's like they're gold. Affirmations are gold. This is you reprogramming your subconscious and speaking things into being. Okay, that is so incredibly powerful. Clear. All right, you guys, let's get some more cards here. So the 10 of Swords in reverse, I want a little clarification on this. I think everything we just talked about really clarified that, though. Yeah. And there's a difference between we'll use the example of shielding. Like when we shield, do we put up a brick wall or do we put up a permeable barrier that allows in that which is for our highest good? That's what we want to look at. And that when we look at that in the way of like setting boundaries and stuff, what kind of am I setting? Are my boundaries like a brick wall, or are my boundaries allowing in the people, the places, and the things that are for my highest good? And do I trust myself to discern the difference? And that's the big part. But yes, Christina, absolutely. Reach out to me. We can do some work around this if you are looking for some one-on-one assistance with that. All right. And I am going to be, I'm going to be creating a Patreon pretty soon, a membership, and we're gonna be doing, I believe it's probably weekly calls. And on that, we're going to be, it's like questions like that, like what Christina has. And we're going to be doing like group healings and really digging into some of these things, these questions that people have. So I'm really excited. I'll be introducing that really soon. But for right now, the one-on-one sessions is an offering that I do have for people. Clear. Give me some clarity on this 10 of Swords. Anything that we didn't cover that still wants to be covered here regarding that energy. I feel like too with this Three of Pentacles, it's like the people that we connect with are really going to be assisting us in seeing where it is that that resistance to releasing and letting go is still present. I'm just smiling here because these two cards together are so great. We got the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Swords, rather. No, it is Wands. The Ace of Wands with the intuition. So as we're moving into 2024, we are just receiving major upgrades when it comes to our intuition, when it comes to, it's like waves of inspiration coming from the unconscious, coming from the soul. And this is going to be the key as we move through 2024. If we want to continue to remain aligned with this higher timeline that's opening up for us, we want to follow these intuitive hits that we're getting. This goes without saying, right? But Spirit really wants me to say it. We want to be following these intuitive hits because they're really leading us in a powerful, for a lot of people, it feels like a really powerful new direction. It's like what you thought you were doing, where you thought you were going, that's not necessarily what it's going to be. It's like a plot twist is kind of the energy that I'm feeling here. A plot twist from your soul that says, oh, you thought this was what we were doing. You thought that this is the way that you were going to be pursuing your divine path, walking your divine path. No, well, I got something better for you, right? So just pay attention to that. This intuition card too, you see how it's all the chakras? So we're really opening up and activating and coming into harmony with all the chakras. And Spirit wants us to pay attention to that. Which chakra is needing a little attention? Especially frequencies, crystals and frequencies and aspects of nature that we can use to complement those chakras. And really, for most of us, it's like we really want to be working. If we want to open up our higher chakras, we want to start with the lower ones. We want to ground and open those. Hello, Robin. Welcome, beautiful. I'm so glad. Oh, we're about probably halfway through the live right now. So you made it in pretty good time. We'll see. We'll see how long the little one sleeps. He's napping right now. All right. Anything else? Ace of Wands, intuition. I love it. I love it. See how that in this Ace of Wands too, it's like a beam of light. Notice how it's coming down from the stars. And I received some communication last night from some of my star family, which was pretty cool. And I mean, the stars, I don't know if you guys have been, this is silly, especially for my people watching on YouTube to ask this question. Of course, you pay attention to the skies, but have you guys noticed there's been some really interesting stuff going on in the skies lately? Last night, I mean, I moved out more into the country. I was living in an urban area and we couldn't really see much as far as the stars went. Now where I am now, we can see them so well. And it was so cold last night, but the stars were like little diamonds in the sky and you could really see the different colors and they were winking and twinkling. It was felt like the entire Orion constellation was just shining last night when I was sitting there watching. And I saw a ship too when I was driving. It was really cool just gliding across the sky. It just had these two really bright white lights that were kind of like flashing or pulsing. I guess pulsing would be a better word. And it just kind of glided overhead and then sat on my left-hand side and kind of just like in this one area for a little bit while I was driving. It was so cool. And then I came home and I went outside and received a transmission from Orion, basically kind of just like a hello. But it was pretty cool. So I think a lot of us are going to be receiving more communication, not only from our higher selves and more connection to our intuition, but from our star families as well. And you notice too how this is like that energy. It's like the phrase that I was just thinking was beam me up, Scotty. And that made me think of a friend of mine who passed away. So sending him love. He knows who he is right now. I feel like he might be enjoying this conversation and joining us in the chat as well. The spiritual chat, right? This chat. But it all I was seeing it bringing that energy down into the ground, into the flowers, like grounding that energy into the earth. But now I'm feeling this like a portal. Do you see that? Almost like an opening, like when a portal begins to open. And what I'm feeling from this is that there are going to be some areas on the planet. It's like new, like we have certain areas. Oh, this is interesting. So, with the way the plates are shifting right now, with all the volcanic activity that's going on in different places, the different ways that the earth is shifting, some of the ley lines are going to be shifting as well. Some of the, or like the energetic, the energy is going to be shifting and moving on the planet. And we know we have certain areas that are portals, right? But there's going to be new portals opening up on the earth, which I think is really fascinating. So this card is speaking to me of that as well. New portals opening, brand new energies activating and coming into the planet. And as we're talking about that, oh, I'm glad you're here, Toby. Yes, it really truly is. Welcome and welcome, Renee. Yes, and welcome, Madam Chakra. Oh, the energy is always different. I'm really we're doing a lot more live streams now. I'm doing primarily live streams and then just short videos, short little videos. The live streams are just so much more fun. I love them. Hello, Jen. Welcome, beautiful. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Liking the live stream. Thank you so much. So great to have you here. So great to have everybody here. Oh, you're so beautiful. I love you. I love you. I love you. Let me see. What were we saying? We're talking about the portals opening up, these new portals opening up. New energies coming onto the planet. Yeah, something else that I wanted to touch base on, and you guys will have to check out. I've been listening to her a lot because I really, really like her. I like her energy. It really aligns with mine, Carrie K. And so Carrie K talks about, and she explains the ascension energies like this. She explains like these, almost like these bands of light, right? Frequency that cascade down onto the planet, right? And when these frequencies, these bands of frequencies come through into the planet, it's like this is when we experience the purging. This is when everything gets stirred up, right? When we're having these different waves of ascension. Okay, the energy comes through, it passes through us, it grounds into the center of the planet itself. The planet absorbs this energy, and then it pulses it back out and radiates it back upward again. And then we feel another wave of this energy. And so that's very much what this is like. It's like these waves coming down. We are anchoring them. We are grounding them. That's what makes the light workers so important, right? And we're all light workers. It's just some people are conscious and some people aren't. And the more conscious we are and the more open we are, the more aware we are, and the lighter and clearer channel we are, the more light we're able to channel, right? The more powerful a lighthouse we are able to be. And so it passes through us, activates the core of the planet, and then passes up through us again. And it's just like this continuous, like pulsing. Like you notice when we do this, it reminds me of like the DNA strands, right? The way that they weave together, just like pulsing up and through and up and through. And every time that we experience these major pulses, we experience like that energy of, it's like the analogy of the glass when the dirt's on the bottom and then you shake it up and all of a sudden the glass looks like it's full of dirt. The dirt was there all along. We just didn't notice it because it was settled in the bottom. And so that's what this process is. And December was very much that energy where the glass got really shaken up. And what did it do? It brought to the surface things that we need to know and understand, the dirt that really needed to be acknowledged. All right. Because it's time for us to clean that shit up, essentially. But it feels really messy. And you guys, trust me, I understand completely because like we said, I was going through it. I think I even posted about that on YouTube, how I was a little bit absent because I just had so much going on. I think my son was feeling it as well. He's a very sensitive being. And so, any of us with these starseed children or any children really, right? They're sensitive too. So they're going to be feeling these as well. And so just a lot of stuff going on here. Oh, Toby, you're so amazing. I love you so much. Thank you for all your encouragement. Thank you, Jen, too. Really just killing it with the likes over there. I appreciate you so much, sister. I appreciate all of you. Yes. Oh, I know. I think it's a trick. It was a trick of the camera, Sophie, but maybe not. I think I posted a picture once. There was some reading that I did, and you could see the rainbows coming out of the way the hand was moving, the way the photo captured it. It was really cool. Yes, and my divinity is a reflection of your divinity, right? We recognize in others what exists within ourselves, and so it really floors me. I love it. I just love. I don't know. I love how we are such beautiful reflections for each other of the beauty and the energy that we all hold within, right? All right. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think we all went through a lot last month. You know, I went through a serious period of self-doubt too. And there was this period of questioning my own worthiness, questioning even like whether I'm meant to be doing like the stuff that I'm doing, like everything. And like that's what a dark night of the soul is, right? When we question absolutely everything, like, is this my path? Does this even matter? And for me, it went back into that whole thing of like, am I even good enough for this? You know what I mean? And so it's like, we all go through this. The point is, if we know and feel within our hearts that we are meant to do something, that something is right for us, if it lights us up when we're not getting in our own way, right? With our fears and insecurities. But when it lights us up when we allow it, we don't give up. We don't give up just because that's the ego mind, right? That's the false self that is causing us to question, that's causing us to worry. And this is a whole, I just got a really great hit right now, intuitive hit. The reason that I deal with what I deal with, I'm going to get emotional here. The reason that I have so much insecurity to work through. Hello, Pamela. Welcome, beautiful. It's great to see you. The reason that I continue to go through these struggles, right, with questioning myself, questioning my abilities, questioning my own worthiness, is because that is what I'm meant to teach above all else. I meant to teach people how to persevere, how to not give up, how to push through your fears. Like, you guys would be amazed, honestly. You might not even believe me with like what I deal with when it comes to anxiety, when it comes to different things. I mean, I'm constantly working with like OCD type symptoms, like just it's crazy the level of mental health stuff and different types of things that I deal with as well, that people probably wouldn't think and wouldn't guess, you know, but it's there. It's there, and I still show up anyway. Okay, I still show up for my life. I still show up for you guys, and you show up for me, which is so beautiful, right? But it's like the reason that I feel that I continue going through those cycles of questioning is because I meant to continue to be on here. I meant to share about it too. I meant to share about these struggles to show other people that they can do it, to understand that journey. And it's funny, I wasn't going to do something about the new moon in Capricorn, but a lot of themes from that new moon are coming up because we have a conjunction with the North Node and Chiron in a T-square with the South Node and the Sun and the Moon being squared by the nodes and Chiron, to shorten that up a little bit, with a semi-square to Saturn. Okay, so there's this energy here of really understanding and having those insecurities, having those fears and those phobias, having those things that hold us back, the ways that we hold ourselves back, and allow ourselves to be held back, revealed to us, so that we can continue to move forward, so we continue to heal, to continue to persevere. All right. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you. Agoraphobia. Yeah, I could imagine what that's like. I haven't specifically, but there are a lot of times where I don't leave the house, I'll be honest. Is that what agoraphobia is? Or is that the fear of small spaces? That might be the opposite of leaving the house then. What's the one where you don't like to leave the house? I go through that sometimes. Sometimes just the littlest things can feel like the biggest challenges. Like you all probably would not believe that it took me like 6 months to be able to leave the house with my son. I was like pretty much afraid to leave the house. All right, to transport him anywhere. I mean, I deal with a lot of just a lot of stuff. It's still sometimes is a challenge just to get up and move through the day. I don't like labels like anxiety, depression, whatever, but I've been given a lot of those labels, addiction. Many of you know that I'm in recovery from drug addiction. Very, very like when I say drug addiction, I mean addiction. Like 10 years of my life that was given away completely to that energy, devoted completely to the pursuit of that. So a lot of things, a lot of struggles that I'm still in the process of overcoming that I probably don't share about enough. And I think a big part of why I'm here is to share about that stuff, is to let people know and understand that you can experience all of that and keep going. None of that has to hold you down. None of that has to hold you back. It's only the self that holds us back. And we can still accomplish so much. Everybody has this idea, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people have this idea that in order to share your truth, in order to share your wisdom, in order to assist people in healing in any type of capacity, we have to be completely healed ourselves. We have to be like, we have all these ideas of what a healer is supposed to look like, what a light worker is supposed to look like, what a whatever is supposed to look like, right? And throw that out the window. None of that is real. None of that is real. Those are all just caveats, for lack of a better word, right now. Like those are all expectations, and there's a word but I can't find it. It's not real. Let's just put it briefly like that. It is not real. There is no benchmark that you have to hit before you can share your journey, before you can share your story. All right, there is something that you have that somebody else needs. We can only help somebody get as far as we've gotten. That's what people say. And I believe that to a certain extent, right? You can't give away what you don't have. I believe that to a certain extent. Although I do feel that sometimes we can inspire people to reach within themselves, and they may be capable of reaching a little deeper than we were capable of reaching. So we may actually be able to inspire people to reach greater heights than we have even achieved. I do believe that, right? But we are, every single person on here, every single person watching this live. Hello, Worcester. Welcome. You are an inspiration to somebody. Somebody has looked at you and said, wow, I can't believe that she did that. I can't believe that he did that. Wow, that was so impressive. That was so powerful. Let me be like them. How strong is this person? How incredible is this person? All right, somebody has looked at you and said that. Somebody has looked at you and said, wow, they overcame that. Maybe I can too. And that's all it takes, is that little spark of hope. It says, maybe I can too. All right. They did that. Maybe, just maybe. If it was possible for them, it's possible for me. Exactly, Robin, planting a seed. Okay. Lighting that little fire, that little flame, that heart flame, igniting that heart flame in somebody else. That is so beautiful. Oh, it looks like I totally missed it. It looks like we have a subscriber on TikTok, my first subscriber. I don't know if I can find who that is here. Oh, Worcester, there we go. Is that Pamela? Pamela, that is Pamela. Yes. Hello, Pamela. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. She's getting it going. And I love this. Everyone on YouTube, you guys know I do a simultaneous thing on YouTube and TikTok now. So that's so beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Pamela. And now it's 1 out of 11, because my first goal was 11 subscribers. So we got the first official subscriber to the tribe. I'm still figuring out what we're going to name it. I like Sacred Rebels. I don't know if that's a ripoff of the Sacred Rebels deck, but I really love that. I also love Cosmic Creators, which is what we are in our YouTube chat on Facebook. So let me know what you guys think. What are you feeling for like a tribe name? Do we like Cosmic Creators? Do we like Sacred Rebels? Is there something else? I really like the energy of Sacred Rebels. I don't think I looked it up. It's not a copyright issue. There's a business called The Sacred Rebel. But Sacred Rebels, we could use if we wanted to. And I really love that because I love the energy of that, because that's what we are, right? Sacred Rebels, you like that too, Sophie? Yeah, so Cosmic Rebels. Ooh. Melinda, I like that. What do you guys think about Cosmic Rebels? Sacred or cosmic? I might have to do a poll about this on YouTube. I'm curious. What do we think? What are we thinking now? I like Cosmic Rebels too. That has a good ring to it. See, this is our Three of Pentacles here, the collaboration. When we bring together our thoughts, when we bring together our ideas, something beautiful is born. Yes, that's it. That's it. Yes. Cosmic Rebels. Yeah, all right. Cosmic Rebels for the win. I do like it with the K, Nisa. I do like that. I almost did that with my name, but I had it at one point with Cosmic beginning and ending with a K, and then my name begins with a K, so it was just too many Ks. So then I switched it back to a C. I am on Facebook. I don't do a lot on Facebook. Facebook is like a weird energy. I'm on Instagram and I am on TikTok. That's why some people are watching this on TikTok right now. I do simultaneous live streams with TikTok now. But I do have Facebook. It's mostly just personal still. Although I use it mostly to share videos and different things that I've done. I don't really do a whole lot on Facebook just because of the weird, funky energy there. But yes, I am. All of my social media is linked in my profile on YouTube, and it's linked in my link tree on TikTok. So you can I have a Rumble channel. We haven't gotten going on Rumble yet, but basically I decided I was going to do simultaneous Rumble and YouTube live streams. Now that I'm doing simultaneous with TikTok, I can't really do all three, I don't think. But what I think we're going to do is on YouTube, we're just going to ride it till the wheels fall off here. Meaning we're going to say whatever the hell we want to say. And when YouTube decides that we've said too much and they try to censor us and cut us off, we'll move to Rumble. So everybody should follow me on Rumble who enjoy me on YouTube, because there will come a point in time where YouTube will probably cut us off if things continue to go the way that they're going. And then we're just going to go on Rumble, and we're going to live stream on Rumble from that point forward. So, that's the plan right now. The plan's always changing. I'm fluid. The universe is fluid. That's what Spirit wants us to be, is to just roll with the punches, just go with the flow of things and just see what happens. Have an awesome day, Toby. Toby has to go, I think. We're still talking about right now, but are you getting ready to head out? Rumble in the jungle. Yeah. Hello, Julie, by the way. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Estella. I would say hi to everyone on TikTok, but it's hard because people hop on and off so fast. I would just be shouting names of people that aren't even in the room anymore. That's why if I notice that somebody's stayed, I'll say hello, like, hello, Lupita, I see that you just joined us. It's a little hard to keep up with, but that's so I don't ever want people on TikTok to feel bad if I don't shout them out when I see them. It's just, there's so many. When we start getting regulars and when we have, subscribers and people in the tribe that show up, I will definitely, of course, make sure to say hello to you. But it's just, as so many random people scrolling through and clicking on the live stream for a second. TikTok's fun though. It's great. There's a lot of fun energy once I figure it out. I'm still figuring out how to navigate it. What is my Rumble name? Pamela, is, I believe it's CosmikKassia. Everything's CosmicKassia. Like any of my social media, except for Facebook, I have Kassia Justine, actually. Because like I said, that's more of a personal thing for me. That's not my last name, but it's close to it. Everything else is CosmicKassia, so it's easy to find. All right, let's see here. Yes, happy 1/1. And we're now on the second, right? 1/2/1/2/2/4. I went on my whole spiel about the numbers at the beginning of the live stream. Everyone, you guys on YouTube, you've all heard it before. All right, so follow your intuition wherever it leads you. All right. This is also the portal. This isn't just the portals on Earth that are going to be opening. This card also represents the portal within us, right? Our light body activating, our heart center activating and opening. Remember, the heart is the portal to the fifth dimension. That's actually a literal thing. Our bodies are the literal portals this time. Clear. Oh, my Rumble, it's linked in my bio. It's linked in on YouTube. It's the description box of my videos. There's a link. You can click. It'll take you to my Rumble channel. CosmicKassia. All right. Cosmic Rebels. I love it. That is the name. That is the official tribe name. All right. We have Two of Pentacles and the Warrior of Swords coming out. And the Warrior of Swords came up in the short reading that I did, the daily reading as well. And you notice in this card, so in the Warrior of Swords, we have two beams of light here, right? It looks like two swords. And then we have, of course, two pentacles here. Doesn't it feel like she's wielding these? It's like it's an 8. And this is 2024 is an 8 year, right? So we have that 8 energy, that infinity energy. And it's almost like she's just moving this, these pentacles around, like kind of like wielding them. You know what I mean? The same way that she's wielding these swords. And so this is powerful energy here. We have the deer and the rabbit, two creatures that move swiftly and silently, right? This is about us leveraging the cosmic forces. That's what this energy is all about right here. Leveraging the cosmic forces. So I feel like there's a real opportunity here in 2024 to move into a deeper level of mastery when it comes to balancing things, when it comes to juggling things, maybe, right? If we have a lot of things on our plate, it's like, yes, we need to get down to the nitty gritty of like, what is most important for me? What are my top priorities? All right. We need to cut out the fat. We've been needing to do that for a long time. We've been in training for that for a long time. All right. Cut out the fat, so to speak. Really prioritize. And then we're really going to be learning. We're going to be getting an opportunity to bring that into balance, to learn how to do that, to learn how to balance self, balance others, right? That's that Aries Libra axis, to balance self-care, to take care of the things that we need to do, the things that are important in order to create the reality that we want to create. And it's like we're learning how to tap into, I don't know if the void is necessarily what I want to call it, but I don't necessarily want to call it something else. Okay, this is what I want to call it. We're learning how to tap into the field of infinite possibility in order to extract from that field everything that we need in order to accomplish what it is that we came here to do. So that's powerful. But it's also it's about learning and knowing our limits, right? because we can accomplish a lot more than we think we can, but there's still a limit to what we can do in this physical form. All right. So we need to know and understand that we need to work within that, but we need to at the same time not limit ourselves. Right. So it's like respect our limits, but don't limit ourselves. All right. Just know and understand that's where that self-care piece comes in. Okay. This is what I've taken on. I know that I can accomplish it, but how do I do this in a way that is harmonious for me? Deer spirit and rabbit spirit, powerful spirits for us, as well as I think we touched on the fact that this is the year of the dragon. 2024, we had the tiger last year. Now we're in the year of the dragon, which is beautiful energy, right? The dragons, a lot of us are really becoming better acquainted with the dragons as protectors with our own personal dragons. Right? We all have a personal dragon. It's almost like the energy as I was feeling into it one day is almost like a twin flame type energy. Like we are very deeply connected to these beings, these magical creatures. And they are our protectors. They are our guardians. And so the dragons are really stepping up and really making their presence known, wanting to connect with us more. And I think that we're really going to be able to see and honor the dragons as we move into this year of the dragon as well. Oh, that would be fun. Spirit saying a meditation when we start our Patreon, when we one of our Zoom calls to do a guided meditation to meet our dragon. That'll be fun. All right, so we have the Death card here with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have Freedom, Strength card on the bottom of the deck. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What this means, as I am feeling the energy, is there are going to be things this year that we put a lot of time and effort into that are going to need to be transformed. We're either going to be putting them down completely, or we're going to be approaching them in a brand new way. All right, that's where this freedom on the bottom of the deck comes from. We are setting ourselves free. The things that we've held on to, that we've kept ourselves chained to out of fear, out of obligation, out of a feeling of like, well, dude, I've been doing this forever. I put too much time and energy. I've invested too much into this to give up now. It's like that kind of energy, that like gritty perseverance that's not doing anybody any good. That's ending this year. We're letting that go. We're releasing that. And if it's not meant to be released, we are going to be asked to find a better way to approach it. Okay? A different way there. It's going to be transformed. Things that we've been working on for a long time are either going to be scrapped completely or transformed completely. Ooh, I love that. Annika just met her dragons. Beautiful. Got the lion here, the jaguar, the emu, the lamb, the moth spirit coming through for us. The butterfly of the night, right? So that's beautiful energy. There's going to be and I'm telling you guys, for some of us, it's like we're really holding on to stuff and there's a big fear that's going to come with letting it go. But the freedom, it's like you're going to know, because even if you're terrified to release it or let it go, the sense of freedom that you feel when you do, it's like there's going to be a sense of relief. Even if there is like there's fear there, there's also going to be this tremble of relief, this underlying sense of relief when you do. Got the star. This is healing. This is vulnerability. This is dreams manifesting and coming true. The rose, the white roses, lilies feel significant here. Got 8 stars on this card. 8 stars that are really shining, as well as the beautiful goddess herself, which could be seen as the 9th. Now, the Pleiades is the seven sisters. But something about this card made me think of the Pleiades as well. I've noticed the Pleiades constellation in the sky here. It's too faint for me to see that I could have seen it where I lived before, but now I can see so much more clearly. I can see clearly now, right? And I've noticed it. I can only pick out 4 of the 7 stars, but I see the little cluster up there, and I my attention has been drawn to the Pleiades constellation lately. Kind of tired, probably. I mean, we are ascending with our physical bodies. There's a lot that's happening during that process, and it is tiring. So there definitely will probably still be waves and spells of tiredness. Um, yeah, unfortunately, the more grounded we can be, the better we can take care of ourselves on a physical level. The easier it's going to be. I am live, Tammy. Welcome. All right. But this is healing, the star card. This is healing, and this is dreams and desires manifest. Something about the number 9 too. Or is this number, well, no, but I saw her as the 9th. So the number 8 or 9. 8, once again, this is an 8 year, all right? 8s and 9s. And I thought of the Pleiades too, so 7s. But this has 8 stars, so really feeling the energy of 8 or 9. 8, 9 weeks, 8, 9 months for something to manifest, something that's been in the works. We're getting confirmation that it's an 8, right? 8 of Wands popped up as I was bouncing between 8 and 9. Hello, Raven. Welcome. Hi, it's so great to see you. Thank you for joining us. Okay. All right, so the 8 of Wands with Temperance. Once again, there's that energy of healing. Tell me a little bit more here. Tell me more about Temperance. A lot of beautiful, gentle energy, though. Five of Cups wanted to pop out there. I feel like communication for some people too, like communication from people that you've perhaps lost contact with, lost connection with. Some people, it's like I'm feeling like a trip that changes your perspective on something, that helps you to see something from somebody else's point of view. Yeah, it gives you clarity. Clarity coming through about a disappointment. Someone or something that disappointed you. You're getting a different perspective on this. And these could be daisies or sunflowers, right? I think they're meant to be daisies. I see sunflowers everywhere, though. Hello, Aqua Phoenix. Live on what frequency? Yeah. So this is like a deeper level of clarity around someone or something that disappointed us, and some sort of communication coming through here. Unexpectedly, perhaps out of the blue. And we just went through the Mercury retrograde, right? We went through that Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, and now we're having the new moon in Capricorn. So this new moon, I'm feeling, really bringing us a deeper level of clarity around some of the shift in perspective that we received during the Mercury retrograde. And somebody may be reaching out to share what they've learned. Or like I said, somebody may be going on a trip, and during that trip, you're going to get a deeper level of insight. Got the Knight of Pentacles here. So there's the 9 energy, right? We had the 8 or the 9. 6 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Nine of Pentacles. Tell me about the Nine of Pentacles here. Self-sufficiency. Somebody learning more about themselves, their ability to be self-sufficient. This could also be somebody who's gone through a breakup, right? Somebody who is single. Revolution. All right. This would be the Tower. Yeah, somebody really getting a shocking revelation about a situation where they just could not see. It's like the energy of like couldn't see the forest for the trees. And really wanting to share what they've learned, needing to share what they've learned. The bird, I'm falling, my eyes are falling on the bird here, right? Birds are seen as messengers from spirit. So there's definitely the energy of messages coming in really heavily. So if somebody watching this has had a falling out with somebody, just know that you may be receiving communication from them, or you may be the one receiving the insight that you then feel that you need to communicate. And tips on learning to read tarot for the beginner. Merlot Mia, I'm actually going to be putting together a class for beginners tarot. So stay tuned and stay updated for when that's released. But my main recommendation is to get yourself a version of this deck right here. The Smith-Waite Rider-Waite. It's typically known as the Rider-Waite deck. This is what the copy shows, the Three of Cups on the back, one of the cards in the deck. This deck is the deck upon which pretty much all tarot decks are based. And so when you learn this deck, you can read essentially any tarot deck. And there's a book that I always recommend. You can find it on Amazon. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's a guidebook to reading the tarot, and it goes into the symbolism behind each card. It goes into a lot of stuff that I'm looking to see if I have it down here. That's really, really great to know and understand. So you really get a feel for each card. So that was one thing that I did, I'll say for myself, was I wrote down the meaning of every card. And I just the way that I am, right? Mercury and Taurus, Virgo moon, Mars and Capricorn. I said Mercury and Taurus. I like to, I need to learn in a systematic fashion. So I wrote down the meaning of every single card. I memorized the meaning of every single card. But then it's also about your intuition, and practicing helps your intuition come out. So practice reading. What really helped me was watching other readers on YouTube. I watched a lot of people read cards on YouTube. And, if you're on TikTok, you can watch it on TikTok, whatever. And so that helped me get a sense for the way that they were feeling into the cards and putting the meanings together, and the repetition of hearing people say, oh, it's the Three of Cups. This is celebration. This is reunion. Some people look at that as like a third party situation. If they're reading for love, it's like the more I heard these things, the more it's cemented in the memory, the remembrance for me. So that was a big thing as well, was doing that and then practicing. And I learned how to read tarot on making videos for YouTube, honestly. If you check out Intuitive Insights with Kayla and Cassie on my first channel, which is linked in my YouTube bio, I think, you can see on there, I started reading tarot. That was really the beginning of my journey with tarot. I started reading for a few friends. It's harder to read for people you know. It's even harder to read for yourself. It's really easy to read for strangers. It was really easy to learn to read on YouTube because I was just making up a story, it felt like, as I went along, and it was going to resonate with who it resonated with. If it didn't resonate with anyone, it didn't resonate with anybody. No harm done. There was no pressure to get it right. All right. So I just went with it. And that really helped to unlock my intuition and get my intuition flowing. So those are the tips that I can give for learning to read tarot. And then, like I said, I am going to be creating a class, tarot for beginners class, to kind of give people some more tips and tricks. and help people that are starting out with reading tarot. So that's going to be really fun when we do that. That's something that I'm going to be introducing. So like I said, just keep following me and checking in to pay attention for when that happens. Oh yeah. The classic ups and downs of the twin flame energy, Annika. That's a thing. That's a thing. Clear. All right, Sarah, are you still with us? Oh, my battery is dying. So TikTok, we're probably not going to be able to run too much longer. But Sarah, let me know if you're still here. Sarah had wanted to know if I could pull a card for her. Clear. So drop a comment and let me know if you are still here, Sarah. Clear. All right, just checking this out. I think it's hard for me I don't really know how to do all of this. Oh, it sounds like the babe is up. So let me know if you're there. I can pull a card for you real quick, Sarah. Clear, but I am going to have to go. Okay. Yeah. I'll pull one card. I didn't hear anything from Sarah. I do have to go. So I'm going to pull one card for Aqua Phoenix. And we're just going to look at this as clear. Remember that we're all... Okay, thank you. Remember that we're all connected. So this card may be for Aqua Phoenix, but that does not mean that it's not going to be relevant for other people as well. Ooh, we have the Palace of Wands. And I did, this is from the Tarot of Dreams, different deck here. So the Palace of Wands is very much about inspiration. It's about spiritual activation. The wands represent our passion, our sexuality, our creativity, right? Our inspiration. So this is you moving into a place of really intense inspiration and activation. All right, we have the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck. It is inverted. And so what that feels like to me is if you've been in a place where you felt as though your dreams, if he wants to come in here, he can too. Do you want to come see me, baby? You want to come here? You want to come here, sweetie? You want to come on? Come here. Come here. It's okay, baby. Yeah. He was taking a nap. He just woke up, so he wants to join us. Yeah. So if you've been in a period where it's felt like things weren't coming together for you, this is saying that there's a fresh wave of inspiration coming your way. The Palace of Wands is just this, it's a beautiful, beautiful energy because it's like living in that place. Oh my gosh. He's got the filter on him when he looks at the camera. That's so funny. Oh, that is hilarious. Not on YouTube, but on TikTok, I'm using a filter, you guys. So it's pretty funny. Hello, Joni. So yeah, being in this place of inspiration, this is the energy that 2024 is inviting you into, Aqua Phoenix. It's the energy that it's inviting all of us into. Let's get one more card to clarify this Palace of Wands here. Six of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. So like that Four of Wands rather inverted seemed to suggest, I feel like you're moving out of a period of time, Aqua Phoenix, where there have been challenges. A lot of these perhaps mental challenges, perhaps just perspective, just being in a rough spot, being in a rough place where you felt like your desires weren't manifesting, your dreams weren't manifesting, and Spirit's saying like there's a powerful new energy that's available to you. And let's get one or two cards on how does Aqua Phoenix and anyone else who's resonating with this really capitalize upon that energy and move into that energy. Got the King of Swords. By being decisive, by doing something to clear up the mental state. We got the 6 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. That's beautiful. So doing whatever you need to do in order to get into a clearer mental space. So remove the mental clutter, maybe meditate, anything else that you've been guided to do or you've been feeling called to do that's going to get you into a clearer mind state. And Spirit's saying, just make decisions. Trust your gut and make decisions. Don't allow yourself to stay in a stalemate energy. Don't allow yourself to stay in an energy where you're afraid to, it's like being afraid to make the wrong choice, or being afraid to let people down, or being afraid of doing the wrong thing. It's like Spirit saying, go with your gut, lead with your passion. All right. And don't worry so much about everybody else. And this is, once again, a lot of the new moon energy that we're moving into. It's like, and this isn't saying that we want to be inconsiderate of other people, other people's feelings, other people's experience. But it's saying like, we need to factor ourselves into the equation. All right. And don't put off what I'm getting to, and what Spirit's saying is inaction is an action, and indecision is a decision. And so when we don't make a choice, when we don't make a decision, something else makes that decision for us. And so it's like, really, like, don't be afraid to take creative control of your own life and be really clear about what you want. Set really clear boundaries. Be really clear about your wants and your needs. If you've been holding back on sharing that with somebody, whether this is at a job, right? Like you haven't asked for what you deserve or what you're worth. You're not feeling fulfilled there. There's something that you would rather be doing. There's some way that you would rather be doing things. There's just something that you need to speak up about, but you've been afraid to do so. It's saying, speak your piece there. If this is in a relationship, speak about what you need. And if you need something that you're not getting, and that person isn't willing to give it to you, and they know that you need it because you've expressed that to them, then maybe it's time to move on. Right? So it's like, stop wasting time on the things that aren't fulfilling you, on the things that you're not passionate about. I feel like your energy has been pulled, and it's a lot of it's your mental energy, not just your physical energy, but your mental energy kind of being siphoned in a bunch of different directions. So it's like, take that back. And Spirit's also saying, okay, so at the end of the day, imagine that you're closing a door, and that door is cutting off all extraneous energies. It's cutting you off from all energies that are not your own. All right. And then call back your power. Call back any of your energy that you've leaked out throughout the day, with the caveat that it's cleansed, cleared, cleansed, and returned to you. All right. Imagine that like a reverse starburst coming back to you. All right. So reclaim your energy, close the door to outside energies, and stop allowing your energy to get siphoned off in so many different directions. And really just be really blunt and clear about what it is that you need, what it is that you want, and be clear and honest with yourself about where it is that you're receiving that and where it is that you're not. And if you can do those things, you're going to move into a really beautiful and fruitful new energy where you are really dynamic and you are really able to create. And there's like a new sense of confidence that you're able to command. And I've noticed, oh, Lori, that's beautiful. Resonating with that as well. Like I said, a lot of people will, because like when what one person is asking, like, none of us are here by accident. All right. So I think that's a beautiful thing. Like, doing a reading for one person is doing a reading for multiple people. So it's like that. Those are some of the things that are going to help the energy to get unstuck. And they're really going to help you move into a place where you're able to really just feel more dynamic. Feel more vital, feel more dynamic, feel more in control, and not in the sense of like, how we try to control things in a negative context, but in a positive context. All right. Yeah, I think a lot of us have been feeling that energy of being stuck. And remember, we just came out of retrograde season. We had a crazy December. The energies were all over the place. We've been purging and releasing so much. And we're moving out of that old timeline and into a brand new timeline. So there's a lot of that energy of being in the void, a lot of that energy of kind of like floating in the ethers. And so Yeah, we're going to feel that energy of stuckness sometimes. But it's like, and this new moon in Capricorn is really going to help. This, honestly, the Mercury retrograde we just had in Capricorn really helped us to show us a new perspective and some of the ways that we can begin to get our energy unstuck. And we're going to have a real boost of energy to assist us with that as we move through that new moon in Capricorn as well. And a lot of it, like we said, it's going to be finding new ways to do things. If the old way isn't working, if you had this set in your mind, like, okay, X, Y, and Z is what needs to happen and what it needs to look like in order for me to do whatever, you may have to switch that up. Spirit's saying things. Remember, your timeline, your reality is constantly changing, but so is everybody else's. All right. And so, especially if your plans involved other people, that's going to have to get switched around because their reality is shifting and changing just as much as yours is. All right. And so just allow that process to unfold and continue being open to the new ways and means to get things done. And if you're feeling stuck, Spirit's saying do something that inspires you. Anything that inspires you. Write a poem, listen to a piece of music, go for a drive, visit a new place, reconnect with an old friend, whatever it is, do something to get your energy moving. Do something to get yourself unstuck. And also learn, sometimes some of us need to learn how to be comfortable in the void, in the stillness. And it's not so much stuckness as it is just like not being willing to be where we're at. And this is something Carrie Kay says all the time, which I really enjoy, which is like, you can't move on from where you are until you are willing to be where you are. You have to be there first. And a lot of us, it's like, we're so busy trying to get unstuck that we refuse to, it's like, we're unwilling to just sit in that energy of feeling stuck for a minute and acknowledge like, okay, this is where I'm at. And sometimes all it takes is that acknowledgement as well. Yeah. Going to the gym, absolutely. Getting the body moving. I've been called to do something very similar. I'm not going to be going to the physical gym, but I'm like finding ways to bring the gym here, so to speak. That's something that I think all of us, and that's an act of grounding as well. Anything we can do to bring ourselves more into our physical bodies is going to be really, really helpful in grounding these energies as we are moving forward and releasing energy as well. We release a lot of energy through movement. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Whatever it takes, like get the body moving. Sometimes that's all it takes to remove us from stagnancy as well. And it also helps to clear the mental state. When we get the body moving, the mental body starts to clear as well. I wanted to check out Tammy's comment there for a second. Yeah, God always has a backup plan. And by God, we mean our own higher selves, right? Which is God. You are God. You are your higher self. We are all these things. And there's always a backup plan, and there's a backup for the backup for the backup. All right, you guys, I want to pull a closing card here. It looks like Sarah is not still on, so clear. Why do I think so many weren't feeling Christmas or New Year's like in the past? Well, I think for some people, for people who are awakening, right? We're starting to realize the ridiculousness of these traditions, right? The sort of like the backwards nature of a lot of this stuff, right? Like some of us are beginning to really feel into the energy of like the Gregorian calendar that we follow isn't even the real calendar, right? The way that we perceive time and the way that we mark the passage of time is inverted in and of itself, right? So what is New Year's really? You know, we talk about the galactic calendar on here a lot and how that begins on the 26th of July as we begin that escalation of the Lionsgate portal. You know what I mean? So it's some of that, I think, is just people being able to sense some of that stuff, being able to sense some of these inversions and not really wanting to participate in them. Like one of the most interesting things about the inversion of the holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, is if you think about on a holiday, and it's a holiday, the reason that we have holidays around this time is because these are powerful gateways or nexuses of energy. And so in order to subvert these gateways of energy, these beings, right, that have up until now ruled this dimension, sort of like invert that energy. And so when we're experiencing an upgrade in energy, what's the best thing to do? The best thing to do is to fast. It's to cut back. It's to be in the stillness. And so what do we do instead? We're programmed to consume, right? To buy all kinds of stuff, spend all kinds of money, eat all kinds of food, basically gorge ourselves, to fill ourselves up instead of emptying ourselves to allow space for the light, which is trying to fill us. All right. So it's all flipped around. It's all an inversion. And so some people, I think, are just sensing that and they're just not into it as much. It's not about that. It's not about that kind of stuff. All right. That's all part of the programming. And yeah, it's a little challenging for me because, my son, like, I want to give him some of the magic of, Christmas and Santa and all of that. I don't want to deny him that, I'm going to teach him about the real magic that exists, right? That he is magic. But at the same time, it's like some of those little fun things, like you get kind of drafted into it in a sense. So that's been like my own journey of like, how do I want to approach all of that? You know what I mean? But it's about, and we all have our own unique ways of approaching that. But that's what I think it is a lot of people just feeling into that and understanding that it's like we should love each other every day, ideally, right? Make time for the people that we love. If we see something that we know will bring somebody else joy and we have the means to get it, why do we have to do it one day? Why can't we do it whenever we feel like it? You know what I mean? It's all part of the system that's crumbling. And so I think there's a lot of people who are just kind of like feeling that. And I think also for the people who are not necessarily like consciously awakening yet, it's also just the stress of everything. You know what I mean? The stress of everyday life kind of taking its toll on the average everyday citizen who's just like really feeling it, because they're going through their own dark night of the soul, even if they don't understand why. So that would be sort of my take on that. Should be every day. Exactly. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Pamela. All right, let's get a final card. What deck are we going to pull from? What's your favorite self-care treat? Tammy says, I like to give myself a salt bath. Oh, I'm so glad, Melinda. There's great confirmation for you in here. I like to give myself a salt bath, a nice massage. All right. Oh, I left some cards here. That's all right. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. We're going to pull a crystal. No. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to pull a crystal card for our final card. Clear. What crystal wants to work with us as we're moving through this next week here, as we're moving through this 1/1 portal, this beginning, opening of January 2024. Oh, I love that. Tammy's saying she used to go on the roof with her dad so they could hear the footsteps on Christmas Eve. That's awesome. It's like the little fun magic stuff. You know what I mean? Like I want to educate my child and I want to teach him all of the things that he needs to understand about this world, but I want to do it in a way that doesn't like crush his spirit. You know what I mean? Like we have to have a balance. Hopefully my phone's going to die. So TikTok, if I lose you guys, go over to YouTube to get the final card. Because I don't know where my charger is. I'm not going to try to get it right now when we're wrapping up the live stream. So just, go tap onto YouTube. All right. Malachite is the crystal that wants to assist us, and malachite assists in clearing. And then we have sapphire, spiritual truth, on the bottom of the deck. But we're going to read from malachite for our closing here. Oh. For anyone who hears my son, he is with his dad, so he's okay. All right. Let's see. Malachite's presence with you today indicates an active or the need to enter an active process of clearing. There is something happening in life that needs your attention. However, vision of it is blocked or simply unavailable and must be cleared. And this is part of what Mercury has been assisting us in doing throughout the retrograde. I like that Lori said people feel the need to simplify as well, going back to our earlier thing. Let's see. Malachite asks you to trust your instincts, keep your heart open, and have courage. Trust the spirit you are. Your faith in self is often being tested when malachite appears in life. Didn't we talk about that? The faith in self. There comes a time in everybody's life when they must clear away a sacred space to simply exist alone within. Remember, alone is all one, not alone. Malachite is a very physical stone. I like that. Alone is all one, not alone. So if you spell it out, right, you add an L, all one. Malachite is also a very physical stone. Her presence may also indicate the need to clear a physical ailment, the seed of which is currently unknown to you. And so I'm feeling that malachite can help you understand where that physical ailment can be understood, or like the root cause of that, so that you can clear it. The affirmation is, I am a blinding light. I am healed, clear, and free. Let's see here. Ancient Egyptians connected to Sirius, the Great White Lodge, linked with selenite to connect with these places. Sacred stone of the goddess Hathor and Master Osiris. Really powerful for the solar plexus, asthma, arthritis, sore muscles, swollen joints, teething in children. Also really great for feminine issues and energies. So if you're having your cycle, your moon, malachite can assist with that process as well. Great for childbirth. There's a lot of stuff. Malachite is one of my favorite stones. I love it. We have actually a little malachite sphere right here. And I have a raw piece of malachite up here too somewhere. Let me see if I can find that and show you guys. All right, I don't know where that is right now. I do have one somewhere though. It's really, it's just a beautiful, beautiful stone. So working with that energy, working with the energy of malachite. The raw piece that I have, it looks like coral almost, the way that it's I've never quite seen it like that before. Malachite is a toxic stone if you ingest it, so only work with it with water if it is polished, just as an aside there. And I am going to read you because this is so beautiful. We're going to read this to close. Oh, weird. It says that I did something related to tobacco usage on my live stream on TikTok. That's really strange. That's odd. Whatever. We're talking about malachite. So I don't think I mentioned smoking malachite. That wasn't one of my recommendations, but so here is the message for us to close with here. Raise your arms to the stars, golden angel of the sun. Let me aid you on your journey. Breathe me in and let my hidden yellow flame ignite the power in you. Feel my warmth in your veins, the flower of purification, clearing, and true personal power has come to bloom. Accept my green vibration, one of earthly love to which the basis of fear gravitates, then melts away. Let me bless you with the courage and strength to face your limitations and fears. Entering into my understanding, you will see your role in their creation and be free to fly again. Now released from the weight of the physical world, welcome to the freedom of the fearless state, for love is all that is. Fear stems from the unmastered mind at play in the fields of illusion. Your perception is its vitality, life force, and creator. And take in the light language on this card for a minute, you guys. And I'm going to read that last line again. Fear stems from the unmastered mind at play in the fields of illusion. Your perception is its vitality, life force, and creator. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so very, very much. I hope that you all have a beautiful, beautiful day. Hello, Galactic Elf. Hello, Annika. Or I already said hello to you. Astrid, that's what I was looking at there. Um, love you all so much. You are so beautiful. Have a wonderful, wonderful 1-1, and we will connect again soon. That's so weird. This strange like thing on TikTok with the smoking thing. That's so funny. But it's good to know. Apparently, you can't talk about smoking on a live stream. Probably can't smoke on one. So that's an interesting thing there. But whatever. All right. Appreciate you guys. Love you so much. Bye.